Hello, I'm Terry Stater. I'm a member of the Westford Council of Aging. We're putting together this video to help folks and the residents in the town of Westford understand the ballot question that will be on the May 4th elections coming up about a senior tax exemption within the town of Westford. We've invited Council of Aging Outreach Coordinator Annette Cirillo and Westford Tax Collector and Treasurer Christine Collins to answer some questions about the ballot. The ballot reads, shall the town of Westford accept the provisions of the sections 1 through 10 of Chapter 314 of the Acts of 2020? In summary, the General Court recently enacted Chapter 314 of the Acts of 2020, authorizing the town of Westford to establish a senior property tax exemption, which will become effective of its provisions as when it's accepted by a majority of the voters at the town election, hence the May 4th election. To answer the first set of questions, please welcome Annette Cirillo.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Annette.
Hi.
Hi, Annette.
Can you tell us in layman's terms, Annette, what the purpose of the ballot question is?
The purpose of the ballot question gives the Westford residents an opportunity to go and either support or oppose a brand new tax exemption for our financially struggling folks that are 65 and older in Westford.
Great. Who will the property tax exemption benefit?
So that's a question that has like a lengthy answer, Terry. There are folks, and Christine's going to get more into this with details, but there are folks that are 65 and older in Westford who are truly financially struggling. Their cost of living continues to rise at a much faster rate than their Social Security, and so it's actually putting a squeeze on some of our senior residents, the financial squeeze. And I see a lot of these folks at the senior center. The folks that come in that will benefit from this program, a lot of them have been here a long time. They're townies. They have very moderate-sized homes that are older, and they need major repairs. They need new roofs. They need new septics. They need new wells. These folks have high health care costs. They're also struggling with high property taxes, and a lot of them even still have mortgages in this age bracket. So the folks that are in this kind of category are the folks that will benefit. A big part that Christine's going to talk about is that we're targeting the seniors that are 65 and older, but that pay more than 10% of their income to property taxes. And some people might say, well, that doesn't sound like a lot, but let me just give another fact. In the town of Westford, the median average home is valued at $595,000. So that comes with a tax bill of about $9,600 for that home. And the median income for the town of Westford residents household is $144,000. So $9,600 tax bill is a little less than 7% of that $144,000 income. But we have many seniors in Westford who are paying 15% of their income to property taxes. So they're actually paying double than a lot of our Westford residents to their income, to their property taxes of their income. So this benefit, if it passes, will help those folks who are really struggling because of the high rising costs and limited income.
Well, thank you. But how is this? Westford has exemptions now.
Yeah.
How is this one any different from those that are already around for our seniors?
So the current exemptions that exist, there's one for the legally blind. There's one for veterans with 10% disability or more. There's one for folks that are disabled by state certification. They get Social Security disability, and there's a few others. So this one really is targeting the folks 65 and older who meet particular criteria that Christine's going to discuss. So it's again for different subset of folks.
Great. Very good. Thank you. Thanks, Annette. Next, we have our series of questions for Christine, who is our tax collector and town treasurer. Thanks. Welcome, Christine.
Hi, Terry.
Everyone will be interested to hear this question. If the ballot passes, how are we, the taxpayers in the town of Westford, going to pay for this new exemption?
So the town is required to have an overlay fund. And the overlay is money that's set aside as part of the budget to cover exemptions and abatements. This exemption will be covered in the same way, out of the overlay fund.
Okay. Does this increase my taxes?
No, it does not. The overlay is already part of the budget. It's an account that's required by law. In 2018, when the voters at the town meeting voted in favor of creating this special legislation for approval by the legislature and now for approval at the ballot, the town manager and the finance director began to allocate a little bit more to the overlay account so that there would be no increase. There's not going to be a change in the tax rate as a result of this.
How do I know if I qualify for this new exemption?
So first of all, one of the goals of the committee, so going back just a little bit, the town meeting and the Board of Selectmen asked to create this,
right.
We called it SLIDER, Senior Low Income Disabled Tax Relief Committee. And we met for a few years and we came up with a few things, and this is a product of one of those meetings. And one of the things that was our goal is that we wanted people to take advantage of existing exemptions and other programs. So one of the criteria for this exemption is that the person must have applied for and received the senior circuit breaker tax credit through the state of Massachusetts. Okay. And if you have not done that, you can still go back 3 years to do it.
Okay. So what is the senior state circuit breaker tax credit?
The state senior circuit breaker tax credit is a program that it also has a goal to try to help people who are paying more than 10% of their income in property taxes in the age group of 65 and older. I'm going to go through some criteria for our exemption, our special legislation exemption. If people qualify for ours, they would definitely qualify for circuit breaker because circuit breaker is more generous than ours is. More information about the circuit breaker senior tax credit can be found on the state's website. Your tax preparer can also help with that, and I bet Annette could help with that too. I'm volunteering.
Right, good.
Okay.
Good. So now that I understand more about this state circuit breaker tax exemption, what do I need to qualify for this new Westford exemption if I am eligible or if it passes?
So let me go through the qualifications. So applicants must be 65 or older, and any joint owners must at least be 60 years old. You have to own and occupy the property, and you must have lived in Westford for the past 10 years consecutively. Your income is limited to 75% of the state circuit breaker income limit. So the income limit for the circuit breaker changes a little bit every year. So we based it on a percentage of that income. Not quite as generous as the circuit breaker, but the income range for our exemption in FY22 will be $45,750 for a single filer and $69,000 for a married filer. There's a limit on the value of your home. Your home value is limited to no more than 80% of the prior year's average assessed single-family residence. So for FY22, that number is going to be $452,585 for assessed home value. Assets are limited to $112,556 for a single person or $154,764 for a married person, and that's based on doubling the 41C exemption asset limits. This does not include the value of the home that you are filing on, but if you had a second home, it would be included in assets. This exemption is designed so that people should pay 10% of their income toward their property taxes, but it's capped at 50% of their tax bill. And I know all of this sounds kind of complicated. What I would say is, if anyone thinks that they may qualify, they should just apply. They don't have to know all these rules. That's what we're here for, and we can help them get that figured out. The application will be taken in the assessor's office, just like all other exemptions would be.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, in summary, if you don't, because we don't, a lot of numbers and everything,
Yes.
is that just go to the tax assessor's office, pick up an application, they'll mail you one or whatever,
Right.
and let you guys figure out the numbers.
Right. If this passes, then that process will begin for creating the forms and all of those things. So the applications will probably not be ready until the fall, but that's when all the other applications
Right.
come out too.
So now that I've applied,
Yeah.
and if I'm eligible,
Yeah.
when can I expect to see this tax exemption credit? Or how would I see it? Let's put it that way.
Okay, so if this passes and you apply and you qualify, this would be the last exemption that would be considered, because this considers the other exemptions that people get and the other credits that people get and circuit breaker that people may get. And at the end of all that, if they are still entitled to a exemption under this program, it would be applied. So we're expecting the first exemptions for this program to hit in May of 2022.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Well, that's it for my questions. Do you have, either of you have anything you want to add?
No, I just want to say that Christine is really knowledgeable with this in the tax collector's office, as are the assessors in the assessor's office, and I at the senior center. I may not understand a lot of the numbers, but if people are 65 and older, and they're financially struggling and really want to stay in Westford, I would really think that they should consider and get out there and vote on May 4th, and tell their friends, and anybody out there can call us and ask, questions about this ballot question. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same?
Yep, absolutely.
Very good. Well, again, thank you very much, Christine and Annette. Hope everybody found this information helpful, and please go out and vote on Tuesday, May 4th. The ballot, it's the only ballot question
Yep.
on the ballot itself. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Frances Kosenko, and I would like to just take a moment of your time to tell you how important it is that you vote. There are several ways you may do this. Please take the time to do it. You can call your town clerk's office at 978-692-5515 and request an early ballot be mailed to your address. Or you can stop by the town clerk's office and you can complete one at that time or take one home to complete at your convenience. And thirdly, you can request an early ballot be emailed to you. Just go to this email address. It's the town clerk at westfordmass.gov. Please do so. Your vote is extremely important. Also, if you prefer, you may vote at the regular polling locations on May 4th, and the time operations are 7 to 8 p.m., 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you. Please take the time to vote. Your vote is extremely important. Thank you.
If you want to vote on May 4th at your regular polling location but need transportation, please call the Cameron Senior Center Transportation Dispatcher, Chuck Dutton, at 978-399-2322. This service is open to all ages, but please give us a 48-hour notice. Donations are welcome.
My name is Henry McDowell. I am a member of the senior committee, and I hope to see the people in the town, when they go to vote, that they will take in consideration of the senior people that do live here and want to stay here in their homes. And I thank you very much.
Please vote on May 4th. Your vote does matter.